In 1942, a forest ranger climbs through the thin air of the Indian Himalayas. He's 16,000 feet above sea level, 5 days from the nearest village. The glacial lake ahead is called Roopkund. As he approaches the shore, he stops. The ice is melting, and beneath it, scattered across the frozen water and the rocks, are hundreds of human skeletons. Some still have flesh clinging to the bone. In the middle of the Second World War, British officials fear the worst: a secret Japanese invasion force frozen in the mountains. But the truth is far stranger. These bones will guard their secret for 70 years. And when science finally speaks, it will reveal not one mass death, but two, separated by 1,000 years. Roopkund sits in a mountain cirque in the state of Uttarakhand, in the Indian Himalayas. It's a glacial tarn, barely 100 feet across, frozen most of the year. The trek to reach it takes 5 days through some of the most unforgiving terrain on Earth. Pilgrims occasionally pass through on their way to nearby shrines. But no one lives here. No one ever has. The lake is a place of transit, not settlement. So why are there so many dead?
The first theories are wild. Japanese soldiers, a 13th century army sent by the Sultan of Delhi to invade Tibet, traders who lost their way. But early examinations of the bones suggest something else, a single catastrophic event. The skulls show a strange pattern of trauma, short, deep cracks on the top of the head. Not from weapons, not from falls, from something falling on them. Local legend offers an answer: a hailstorm. The story goes that centuries ago, a group of pilgrims angered the mountain goddess Nanda Devi. She sent hail the size of cricket balls, no shelter, no escape, death from the sky.
For decades, the hailstorm theory holds. It's dramatic, it fits the evidence, and it explains why so many people died in the same place at the same time. But in the early 2000s, scientists begin to ask harder questions. Radiocarbon dating of the bones suggests they're older than expected, perhaps 7th to 10th century. But the dates are inconsistent. Some bones seem younger, some older. The sample sizes are small. The methods are crude. The mystery deepens. Then, in 2019, everything changes. A team of geneticists from Harvard, the Max Planck Institute, and institutions across India publish a groundbreaking study. They extract ancient DNA from 38 skeletons. The results are staggering. The bones don't belong to one group, they belong to 3. The first group, South Asians, genetically similar to present-day populations in northern India. The second group, individuals from the eastern Mediterranean, possibly Greece or Crete. And the third, a single individual from Southeast Asia. These people were not from the same place. They were not from the same culture. And most shockingly, they were not from the same time.
The South Asian skeletons date to the 7th to 10th century, but the Mediterranean individuals died 1,000 years later, between the 17th and 20th centuries. 2 mass death events, same location, a millennium apart. The hailstorm theory collapses, or rather, it multiplies. Did 2 separate groups, centuries apart, both die in freak storms at the same remote lake? Or is something else at work? The Mediterranean skeletons are the most baffling. What were people from Greece or Crete doing in the Himalayas in the 17th or 18th century? There are no historical records of such a journey, no accounts of European pilgrims or traders reaching Roopkund. The DNA suggests they were not soldiers, not colonizers. They were travelers, perhaps pilgrims. The route to Roopkund passes near the Nanda Devi shrine, one of the most sacred sites in Hinduism. Every 12 years, a grand pilgrimage called the Raj Jat draws thousands. Could these Mediterranean individuals have joined such a procession? And if so, why?
Anthropologist Agustin Fuentes of Princeton University calls Roopkund a case study in the complexity of human migration. Ancient DNA, he argues, is rewriting history. It reveals connections we never imagined. Movement across continents, mixing of populations, stories lost to time, now recovered from bone. Writer Douglas Preston, who investigated Roopkund for The New Yorker, puts it simply, "This is a place where science and mystery collide. Every answer raises 10 new questions."
The bones themselves tell stories. Isotope analysis of teeth reveals what these people ate, where they grew up. The South Asian individuals show diets rich in millet and rice, consistent with life in the Indian subcontinent. The Mediterranean group ate wheat and barley, staples of the Eastern Mediterranean. They carried their homelands in their bones. But the injuries are universal. Blunt force trauma to the head and shoulders, consistent with being struck from above. The hailstorm theory, at least for the manner of death, still holds, but now it must account for 2 storms, 2 groups, 2 eras.
Imagine the scene. A group of pilgrims, perhaps 100 strong, climbing toward the sacred peaks. Among them, travelers from across the known world, South Asians, Mediterranean wanderers, a lone individual from Southeast Asia. They are bound by faith or curiosity or desperation. The sky darkens, the temperature drops, and then the hail begins. Not ordinary hail. Stones the size of fists, falling with the force of bullets. There is no shelter at 16,000 feet, no trees, no caves, just open rock and ice. They try to run. They cover their heads. But the storm is relentless. In minutes, it's over. The bodies lie where they fell. Centuries later, another group makes the same journey. And the mountain strikes again. But questions remain. Why did the later group, the Mediterranean travelers, leave no trace in historical records? How did they even know about the pilgrimage route? Some researchers speculate they were part of a larger, undocumented wave of migration. Others suggest they were hired guides or porters, their origins forgotten by history. The single Southeast Asian individual is even more enigmatic. A merchant, a monk, a wanderer? We may never know. Climate scientists offer another piece of the puzzle. Roopkund sits in a zone prone to sudden, violent weather. Monsoon systems collide with high-altitude winds. Hailstorms of extraordinary intensity are rare, but not impossible. In 2013, a similar storm struck the nearby Kedarnath region, killing thousands. The Himalayas are beautiful, and they are deadly. For those caught unprepared, there is no mercy.
Today, Roopkund is a trekking destination. Adventurers come from around the world to see the skeleton lake. The bones are still there, scattered on the shore, slowly weathering away. The Indian government has restricted access to protect the site, but the lake continues to yield its dead. Every summer, as the ice melts, new remains emerge. Each one a fragment of a story we're only beginning to understand.
The skeletons of Roopkund remind us that history is not a closed book. It is a living investigation. Every new technology, every new method reveals layers we never suspected. Ancient DNA has given voice to the voiceless. It has connected continents and centuries. It has turned a local legend into a global mystery. Somewhere in those bones lies the truth of who these people were, why they came, and what they sought in the high Himalayas. Until then, Roopkund remains what it has always been, a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and where